roaming the world endlessly, both terrorizing and assisting mortals in many different ways. Japan is full of these stories of ghosts, ghouls, goblins, and crude gestures. The world is more than what we think, with thousands of these stories coming from the beginning of time to now, recollecting past experiences of both horrifying imagery and perhaps some odd sightings that bring forth more questions than answers to our world. And in this upcoming short series, we have the Yokai, spirits of myth in Japanese culture, where we'll deep dive and cover all of these yokai in 10 different categories, and at the end, see who comes out on top. I'm your host, Joey, and I'm here with my co-host, Nate.
That's me.
Follow us as we search the files for a deeper understanding, finding, and meaning behind some of the world's greatest mysteries, hauntings, cryptids, and mythos. Come as we take an attempt to delve deeper. So I'm quite excited about this one. I love the idea of yokai, and I think we had so much fun with our dragon episode, doing a tier listing that just had to do another one. We just had to do a whole series of the yokai, because I am not going to cover all of these interesting little guys in one little thing.
There's thousands, like tens of thousands of different types of yokai. Like, and they range from crazy, outlandish, mythical creatures to, like, a cat. Like...
stealing souls out of the asshole. Those are the ones that I'm just like, alright, no, okay, you know what, we're here, we're there. Unfortunately, people, Godzilla is not a yokai. He is, unfortunately, he's not a spirit. He is a beast of living radiation.
But technically Gojira... No, I'm just kidding.
Gojira.
Gojira's a band.
I was gonna say Gojira, the band. They start the Whales song comes on.
Right. But you're right. Doing dragons, the tier list was so fun and it worked so well that we decided we're gonna do it again, just a little differently this time. This time's gonna have a bit more structure behind it. But as you said in the opening, we have 10 categories, and so we kind of wanted the first episode to be an introduction and let you guys know what these categories are going to be as we break down how this is all going to work.
Yeah, we're gonna kind of go through and just get everything together, because I think we have some better knowledge of how to do this now, and especially with this coming up, I just think with our Mythos stuff in particular, there's a lot to cover, and I think this is one of those things that's so big, it would be a disgrace to dishonor such great things out there with just one video. So we're gonna split this up into about 8 or 9 parts, so and we'll go into quite a bit of them. We probably won't reach all of them, and if you guys like the series that much, we might just do all of them. Who cares? I mean, fuck it, right? Why not? But
yeah, if people end up liking it as much as we hope they'll like it, as fun as we had setting it up, if people have that much fun consuming it, then we could even like go back and revisit some of the other ones we did, like we were talking about Angels and Demons, you know, maybe we could revisit that one and do it this way.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, it would definitely give us more time, because mostly we're trying to give ourselves more time to actually research them, enjoy them, and give you guys better content overall. At the moment, I'm really enjoying what I have read, and I'm going to go ahead and start off and say, well, Nate, what exactly is our bracket going to look like going up here?
So, our bracket is going to basically determine our top 10 lists, and we have a basic bracket here that is a 10-team bracket, as anyone can kind of break down in their head. with having 10, that means 2 sides of 5. So unfortunately, some people got seeded, and a couple categories are going to have an extra battle, quote unquote, to go through. So I feel like we should start with the ones that are going to probably be featured the most, and those are the 4 that are going to have the extra battles. And I've lumped these together into what I'm calling the elemental yokai. So this
Alright.
is fire, water, air, and forest are the 4 elemental. Yeah. Yep. And then the 2 that got seeded, we seeded them because they're similar, but they're different. And we'll be able to break that down more too. And that's city and modern. And then we also have human-like going up against animal-like, and good luck going up against bad luck. And then as the brackets break down, we'll go through them, find out who our winners are, and that'll determine our list as we go. For instance, the first loser will probably be the 10 spot on the list. And of the first loser, I feel like who the potential to be the first loser should be one of the first categories we talk about, and that's going to be either fire or water. That's right, we're starting with one of the heavy hitters for a 10 spot. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, you talk about fire yokai and water yokai. There's just about 1,000 of each. So, I mean,
yeah.
I'm personally going for my boy Iwanabozu.
Mhm.
He's
Iwanabozu.
he's a walking fish man. He is technically a fish priest. That's what the translation means. Is that it's a char priest, or kind of like a little fishman priest.
There you go.
He's my guy.
Yeah.
That's my top contender.
Yeah, I also have a Bozu that I think might be in the running, but mine is Umi Bozu. And this appears as a giant black humanoid who just appears to sailors on calm waters, like right before they turn stormy. He's basically just like hey, big storm is coming. And Umi Bozu translates to sea monk. So
Sea monk and char priest, huh?
Yeah.
I see.
But the picture that they have for the Umi Bozu is terrifying. It looks like 5 or 6 big black, like for lack of a better term, heads, but there's no features that you can see except eyes. You know what I mean? So it's like big black blobs with eyes on them coming out of the water.
Yeah, mine is the complete opposite. If you look at the Iwanabozu, he just looks like a chill guy. I would drink a beer with that guy. I don't know, man. Hold on, I gotta pull this guy up because I think he's gonna come up later. But for the time being, I think that's gonna be kind of the goal of this series, is to just give everyone kind of insight to more yokai than what I've seen people give them. The few of the popular ones, I mean, you see like the Kappa, which is like the water turtle man.
Yeah.
He's kind of an ass hat, but you can pay him to kind of
And that one
off.
will be in water.
Yeah, and like those ones, I think some of those ones.
I think what's interesting about... Go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying that pretty much like the most popular ones just kind of find their way throughout the internet pretty fairly, and then you get ones that are just completely ignored, that are just as interesting or deserve their own spotlight for sure.
Absolutely. Anime and manga, of course, have adapt them pretty heavily in their stories. People either have similar powers or they fight creatures that are based on similar creatures. Shoot, Pokemon has Drowsy, which is based on Baku, which we have that thrown in the city category for anyone curious, because they eat people's dreams, so they need to be in an urban area. But for fire, because we're doing fire water right now, that's going to be one of our losers. We talked about water a little bit. Fire is crazy to me because there's like 30 different yokai that are just floating heads on fire.
Yeah. I know you're touching on the city, and I was like, you know what? My own city one. My favorite guy is the Shirime. His quote has no diet. It just enjoys scaring people. It's been what is it? It's been adapted by, if you've seen Meat Canyon, where it's just the dude walking backwards with his asshole to your face. It's just there to offend people.
Yeah.
The anus is not an anus; it's an eyeball. Which in a lot of these cultures and different yokai, you'll see a lot of the times that the asshole is the way to the soul, quote unquote. So there's a lot of stuff there that's like, huh, interesting. But yeah, the Shirime is translation for butt eye, so just be aware of that.
That's awesome. I think one of my favorite ones for city, and the reason I touched on city is because whoever wins between fire and water will be going against city. But my favorite city one right now, so far, obviously we'll be doing more research, but is called the Makara Geishi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. By the way, as we do these series, I'm gonna do my best to not butcher these, but I might. So that's what the descriptions are for, people. But it's also known as the pillow flipper. So it basically is known as like a childlike spirit that like hides in bedrooms, and it pranks people by flipping their pillow, quote unquote, so now it's at their feet. So basically, if you've ever woken up in bed, turned around with your head at the foot of your bed or whatever, chances are a Makara Geishi was pranking you. They're also known to leave dirty footprints around the house. So if you ever just notice like muddy footprints in your house, nothing around, it could have just been one of these guys. They don't do anything other than that though. They don't like cause harm or anything.
It's all right. You know, speaking of home invaders, our local home invaders. One of my favorite ones is actually the Gea Nyuro, or the Musho, which is monk under the floor. And his whole thing is that they live in old wells or holes underneath people's homes, and when they're away, they just sneak through the floorboards and eat your food. That's it.
That's great.
And then they just go back in the hole.
Yeah. That's great. I love that. That's hilarious. They just do their bloop and then leave.
He's a little goblin man.
Same. No, I'm just kidding. No.
Absolutely.
But so whoever wins between water and fire will be going up against city, and then whoever wins that will be going up against the winner of either human-like or animal-like. Because we separated those because a lot can be separated just into human or animal-like. It's kind of crazy how many different kinds there are.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, there's even ones I know that we're we're talking about modern culture within the last century for our modern category.
We're gonna get there. So so there's a side A, side B, and then side A is water, fire, city, human like, and animal like. And then side B has air and forest, and the winner of that goes up against modern.
Yeah, so for those of you that are interested in it, it's kind of interesting, especially when it comes down to like how we're determining that. It's usually like you can find yokai stories way back from clear back at like 100 AD and stuff like that. So it's not crazy to hear stories about these yokai that have been turned into different animals and whatnot, but for the last century of yokai have been really interesting. They get a little more specific, other than dog creature on a man's body. It's like they get a little more detailed, a little more interesting, and then you see like a ton of sightings between them and everything. It's pretty cool. I really like modern as a little subcategory. I know there's gonna be some interesting controversy. I've heard some people say that, adding and doing kind of like modernistic things is just like not really a category. I say it's my pod. It's our pod. We're gonna do it.
It's our pod.
I'm gonna enjoy it. So I really look forward
I
to
th-
that one as well.
I think modern is a good one to have, because like we were talking about a little bit before here, before we jumped on here, is that these sightings like start like in 1700 2000 like AD or BC, I mean, like before Christ, like they have stuff from way back when, like so it's I think modern is a perfect category because, like you said, a lot of the old ones are like flying dog, like things like that.
Yeah.
But then the modern ones, like even this one was 2 centuries old, but even that is a lot modern compared to a lot of them. But it's called the Kairai, and it's mermaid, except it's all fish, but has a human woman's face, 3 extra eyes along its sides, and it's known to bring happiness if you spot it. But it wasn't mentioned until May of 1805. That was its very first mention of it.
Yeah,
But it's all fish with just a human woman's face.
Yeah, a little interesting, but like those are the ones that I'm talking about though that I really like a lot. It's just they are just really quick but really interesting ones that have come about in the last century that got either gained popularity or end up being
They have one
just
called
strange.
They have one called the Hebagon, which is a spirit that looks like an arthropod ape. Stands 1.5 meters tall, very stout, but its voice resembles a dolphin's call. So that description alone, just the ape part being that tall and stout, that kind of sounds like a yeti, and it's believed it might have some relation to it. But this is also one of the few yokais that is believed to reproduce via eggs, and they think they found a nest of it. Oh my gosh. In May of 2003. But it wasn't even mentioned along yokai stuff until like July 1970, because it was always thought to be basically a cryptid, and it's recently moved over to being believed that it's a yokai because they can't get enough physical. They can't find a body, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's where I think
so
this
I
is
think
just gonna
modern
be
is perfect.
interesting for sure. I'm looking forward to this as we continue forward, because like I know that we have so many to cover as well.
Yeah, and modern's first fight, or lack of a better term, battle, is against either air or forest. And air is like crazy because it's not just things with wings or things that fly. It's also like there's the Kamaitachi, the sickle weasels, and they're in air because they use wind to create a sickle that cleaves things, and they supposedly live in mountains and travel in groups, but they create whirlwinds and attack people in the whirlwind with their claws, basically. Like,
terrific.
So they're air.
That's what I love. That's what I love to hear.
Oh yeah. And then the forest one, there's so many crazy ones, and if you know about Japan, there's also a very specific forest over there, where people go to do a very tragic, sad thing, and so that does not surprise me at all that forest yokai have been around for like ever too. And there's everything from the Onikuma, which is just big ass bear, like really that's its whole thing. It's a big ass spirit bear. To the Kodama, which are just tree spirits. They're not usually heard, or I mean seen. They're usually heard.
Yeah. My big contender for like the sky kind of air one is the Kaze no Kami, which is
that wasn't good.
He rides the wind, traveling from place to place, spreading illness, and then goes and he uses like cracks and crevices to turn himself into yellow dust, enter in places, and he just influences the wind.
But what I love about all of that
stuff.
What I love about the Kaze no Kami specifically too is in that descriptor there it says, especially in spring, yellow dust, especially in spring, the guy turns into pollen.
Yeah.
This man is responsible for spring allergies.
He is. And one of the biggest things that he does as well is that he causes respiration problems, mainly. So, like, even outside of that, if you see a yellow mist at any point, you can expect to have some lung issues for the next week. And he doesn't really... I know it's not something that's, like, he kills people. He just kind of...
Makes them sick.
He just makes him sick. He's just kind of a bastard, and then he moves on.
Yeah. But that also brings up the point. If I used an inhaler, I would just be like, every time I'm using it, I'd be like, oh, gotta fight off these yokai. And just like...
Yeah, anytime you put on a sweatshirt, you're like, alright, that's why they're wearing the masks. They're really trying to get rid of this guy.
Yeah, it's all about fighting off these yokai.
It's no longer about COVID. It's all about this guy.
That's it. Yokai caused COVID. You heard it here first. So those will be the first battles, quote unquote, of the A and B brackets. And then the ultimate winners of those, the ultimate winner of whoever goes against City and Modern, will go against... The first one in the A bracket is human-like and animal-like. And there's a lot that we were talking about fit under these. For instance, I have, for animal-like, we have the Kitsune, which I think most people will probably be familiar with. That's the nine-tailed fox. You see it a lot. It's what Ninetales in Pokemon was based off of. And they're known to be tricksters, but also, like, really loyal.
Ooh.
And then they also have, like, the Nekomata, which is just a cat with two tails, basically, that's, like, really friendly. Like, that's his whole... That's like the whole thing. It's just a really friendly cat that has two tails. That's just a deformity.
That's not even a spirit. That's a deformity. This cat's got two tails. Oh, it's a spirit. It's really nice, though. Somebody just saw that on the street.
Yokai! It's on yokai.com, man. They can't put it on the internet if it's not true.
Might I say that the Kama Itachi, the sickle weasel, is on my list for the animals. I love that guy.
For the animals?
Yeah,
we did talk about him in air.
I know, but it's also a subcategory since it is a weasel as well.
Boom, folks. There you go.
Yeah, just in case, this is a little pop-up here. If we do see multiples, as the sickle weasel is both an air and a creature, an animal-like creature, we'll put them both in the category. If we explain them in one, we won't explain them again in the other. They'll just be a mention. They'll still be placed. Mention. Yeah, they'll still be placed in the like the actual yokai winner. You know, the actual who wins the spirit race. Not just the type, but they'll be thrown in there. And I just want to say that those are going to be mentioned as well multiple times. So if we see like the Kappa again, and like good luck, we're gonna say, okay, well, he's still there, but you know, it doesn't affect whether or not. I think it only slightly affects the opinion of what's to come in it, since we already know their abilities, what they do, stuff like that. And I know that we're just kind of giving examples as of right now of these yokai, right. But there's just a lot here that we have to cover, and we're just giving you guys quick examples. And the second video, I guess, that's going to be coming out as our part 1
will be water versus fire.
Yep, and that's going to be us going, you know, tit for tat, each and every one.
Right, yeah, you guys can consider this. I know a lot of people that listen to us also play D&D. Joey, you're a long-time DM. You know a lot about D&D and tabletop RPGs. Consider this a session 0, guys. This is breaking it all down, what we're going to talk about, how we're getting it, how we're breaking the bracket down. And then the next episode will be our technical part 1. It will be a bit longer than this. And then episode 1 of this will be water versus fire.
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting bout between these each episode, because I can already see these being an hour or so each long.
Oh, yeah.
and I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy this one because I do love these, and I think these all deserve some special love.
Right. There's a couple in the human-like category that, like, I was like, Jesus Christ. Like some of them I heard about, like the Yukiona, the snow woman that preys on people that get lost in blizzards. I always butcher this. I'm gonna try Jikiniki. Jikiniki. It's a zombie. It's a spirit zombie. It just eats people because it's constantly hungry. But the one
Same.
that really freaked me out that I put in human like, oh man, I can. It's called the Napara bow. It's the faceless monk, and often it'll look like it has a face, and then will wipe it off. Often working in groups to scare one person, potentially to death, even looking like their loved ones. So basically, one will like approach you in the street, look at you, and like wipe its face off. And as you like run away because it had no face, you're talking to somebody, and you're like, "That guy back there had no face," and they'll look at you and be like, "Oh, like this," and they'll wipe their face off, and then you'll run to someone else, and they can even look like your loved ones. So they'll chase you all the way home, basically like that. And then when you get home to your wife or whatever, you'll be like, "Babe, you won't believe I saw like a bunch of people, no face. I don't know what's going on. We gotta get out of here." And she'll look at you and go, "Oh, like this," and wipe her face off, and then they get you. You know what I mean? Like I was like, Jesus.
You get got. Yeah, there's some ones here that I'm like, I don't.
That's a horror movie if I ever heard one, bro. Like, I was like, God.
Yeah. Just I don't know, man. The fucking the black monk or the like the Bozu.
Yeah, the Kurobozu.
Just delightful guy. Just, I can only imagine that you're haunted in your dreams.
The Teki named after the sound she makes as she's quote unquote running at you on her hands because she has no legs to stab you. Oh yeah, she has a knife, by the way. Yeah. But that'll be human like and animal like, and that'll be the second half of bracket A, and then the winner of that will go against the winner of whoever wins that city goes against. And then the ultimate winner of that will face the ultimate winner of bracket B. And on bracket B, the second half of that is going to be good luck versus bad luck. And I was really surprised to see luck is so commonly associated with so many of these yokai.
Yeah. I mean, if you get if you get some other one, I mean, some of these yokai are just straight up like you die. And that's kind of I feel like that's kind of bad luck in my opinion. Right. Shucks, man.
It is crazy
snake
too.
eyes.
It is crazy too that like a lot of the bad luck ones will appear as swarms or pestilence or something like that. Like the Yosuzume looks like night sparrows that swarm around a person, and it brings evil and bad luck. The Okubu Yogami is a pestilence spirit that spreads illness and disease and just looks like a swarm of bugs. But it can take the human form of an old priest or hag. Like, it's just crazy how many bad luck ones are associated with pestilence, filth, disease, etc., etc.
Yeah, I mean, they're one of those things that's just like, I mean, it's commonly associated anyway. Like, I mean, if you do the Shinshu, for instance, the divine insect, it's a demon, and it spreads disease, and it eats people. So, yeah, it's disgusting.
There's also the Kukujin, which sounds good at first. It's a monster that eats filth. You're like, oh, that's great. You think the trash dude from Rick and Morty just trash. I love trash. Yeah, I'm trash. But then it says brings illness, disease, bad luck, and mess to the person they live near. Like,
oh man, my dishes aren't done. This guy visited my house.
yeah, living with your roommate. Get home.
Yeah.
Hey man, why did you take out the trash? Oh, I couldn't do it, dude. Fucking yokai. It was crazy. Just came in here and refilled it.
Yeah, Kappa came in here, had to give him my last $20 for rent. couldn't pay it this month. You gotta give me another. I met him down by the river. He was gonna drown me otherwise. Sorry.
Right. And then there's the good luck category. And I think this might be one of my favorite categories of the whole thing, because things that are in the good luck category are things like the Maneki Neko. It's just a friendly cat, but the way that it's written basically reads as the cat distribution system. And I love that. I think that's so hilarious. It's just the cat distribution system. If a cat comes into your life you weren't expecting and it loves you and is friendly, it's probably a Maneki Neko. I'm like, oh my god. Or Hakutaku. It's a wise chimerical beast that's usually an ox with 3 eyes on the head and 3 eyes on each side too. And I'm like, what's with all the eyes?
They gotta see, man. They gotta see where they're going. You know, I just
see why
think
kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Exactly.
But I think one of my favorite yokai is in the good luck side. Because it's apparently good luck to see it. And I think it's going to be one of the most famous yokai we probably talk about. That's going to be the Tanuki.
I'm just saying, Pompoko, baby.
Yeah, so Tanuki's been featured heavily. What's funny about the Bonpoko that you're talking about is it's important to note that the Tanuki usually looks like a raccoon dog, which is a real creature. You can Google it. They're kind of tricksters. They're kind of sly and mischievous a little bit, but they don't bring necessarily harm. And them playing pranks on you or being in your area is supposed to bring good luck to you. But their biggest feature, I should say, is their magical testicles, which are so big that in Boku... What is it, Joey?
Bonpoko,
they spread them out and fly on them. This is important to note because some people will remember that in Super Mario Brothers, I believe it's 3, you get the leaf that gets you the Tanuki suit, which allows you to fly. That's right, it's part of the lore that these creatures fly from place to place with their scrotes.
And just canonically, Mario does too.
Yep,
he does too.
Right.
So welcome
he's
to
big balls.
I didn't know that we were also on Culture Shocks, so it's pretty cool. But all right, yeah, and that's what are we on now?
That's it. That's how the bracket basically will break down. So the winner of good versus bad will go up against whoever wins against modern, and then that ultimate winner will go up against the ultimate winner of A, which is whoever wins human versus animal. Going up against whoever wins against city. And then the first loser will be 10, the second loser will be 9, etc., etc. We'll work our way up. And then, Joey, kind of like you were saying earlier, when we get to that point, we'll get to the spirit race, where we basically are like, okay, these are the top 10s, but who's the top 10s of these? And break it down that way. And that way we can talk about individual yokai more, get them up there, and then by the end of all of it, we will have an ultimate yokai.
Yeah, and I'm looking hella forward to it because I absolutely love yokai. I think they're one of my favorites. Same with dragons. I know that we talked about them last time, but there is some dragons here that I have placed in air. And they're delightful, and I love them so much, and I think they're so cool. So we'll be touching on some other subjects that we've already touched on, and I really look forward to the series, and I hope that you guys enjoy it just as much as we do. I love making this kind of content, and I love making this kind of stuff, and we'll kind of, soon enough, hopefully by the time that this is airing, we'll have this on visual platform here in the next few weeks. So I look forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be so cool. I hope you guys look forward to that. That's why this episode 2 is not going to be as long as some of our other ones, because this was session 0 for the yokai stuff coming up, and we're hoping to get on that visual stuff for yokai, because it'll just bring that extra oomph to it, you know? So make sure you guys tell people, like, comment, share, subscribe, comment your favorite yokais. Maybe we'll be able to talk about them in the podcast and stuff, and that'll be super great. We can figure out where they go category wise. And then come back, watch us as we go into video killing the radio star, so to speak.
Yeah, we'll be entering in soon, and then I'm really looking forward to that. Also, look forward to the release of our video format for DED. That's going to be coming out. We've been working really hard on that and getting that ready for everyone to enjoy. So I hope you guys enjoy all of Patchwork Media content and everything. Love you guys. You guys are awesome. Love our Delvers. Mwah, 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 mwah. And
If they were interested in getting more Patchwork Media content, Joey, or supporting Patchwork Media and us in general, where's the places they can go for that again?
You're going to want to go ahead, and if you guys are already following us on YouTube, I have linked in our little description. You guys can go check out our other show, which is D&D content, and that's going to be more focused on different tabletops. So we've got some interviews in there. We got a lot of stuff in there that's just going to kind of focus on the tabletop aspect of games. And I might start doing some more stuff on that channel as well, including some other chats and whatnot about different games and different stuff. But primarily we cover horror stories and things like that. So if you really like my scary stories at the beginning of our Delve Deeper episodes, go check out some of the IRL stories that people do, because they're disgusting.
Oh,
they are far more horrifying than anything I could ever write. So go check that out, and you guys can go check out our Patreon as well. Anything helps. You guys can even do $1, $2, whatever. It helps out. Yeah. And eventually we're going to be hopping on there this year with the Delve Deeper stuff and more content from us. So hope to see you guys there.
And as we do that, we're hoping to go into this video format too, and that'll be great. And if you out there make videos and you're like, man, I just can't get the voice nailed for this video, that's when you come to me and I will try to get you settled, buddy. And you can find me at Blizzard Wizard, that's BLZZRD on almost all socials except for X and Snapchat, and also at blizzardwizard.com, spelled that exact same way. And I'm a voice actor. I am for hire. Go ahead and go check me out, and keep listening. Keep the love coming. Keep the comments and the likes and the shares coming. Make sure to follow us everywhere you get your social media content. Make sure to follow Patchwork Games everywhere you get your social media content. Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. And we love you, our Delvers, and we definitely hope to see you guys next time, because it's about to go down.
The Yokai Throwdown, baby. Alright, yeah. And we'll catch you guys later.
Bye.